Alright boys, welcome back to another Fortnite video. Today what we're going to be doing is talking about linear and exponential. More specifically, we're putting them against each other and we're going to see which one is better and which one is worst. We're going to be talking about the positives and the negatives of each one, and we're going to make you fully understand how your playstyle comes into play when we're talking about input curves. With that said, a lot of people don't seem to understand that sure, I'm a keyboard and mouse player and I've been playing keyboard for only a year now. But before that, I've played Call of Duty World at War. That game came out in 2004, bro. I played that on controller. I've played Black Ops 1. I've played Black Ops 2. I've played Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4. I've played every single possible shooter game on a controller up until I swapped to PC and played keyboard and mouse. So, I just want to let you know I'm fully qualified to talk about this. I've played Fortnite on controller for like 4 years. Since the game came out, since before Battle Royale was out. So I'm fully educated and I understand how controller works, so I'm not going to be giving you no shit information. With that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you hit that sub button by the end of it, because tomorrow we're dropping a video talking about is controller better than keyboard and mouse. That's going to be a banging video, so if you enjoy this one, consider pressing the sub button. Alright, so starting this video off, I want to compare linear and exponential to keyboard and mouse, and then have a very weird comparison that is probably going to make you think a bit. But linear can be compared to raw mouse input. Raw mouse input is what basically every keyboard and mouse player plays on. It means there's no acceleration, there's very little input delay, and overall it's just a better choice. So therefore you can see that keyboard and mouse players are playing linear in their own sense, and controller players for the majority are playing linear as well. Exponential can be compared to mouse acceleration. Mouse acceleration is an option that comes in most games nowadays, and if not, it's on by default in Windows, but it can really mess you up. Basically means is you have like a car, put it like this, if you know anything about speed and shit like that, what happens when a car is at traffic light and the traffic light goes green? You got to start moving, so you got to go from 0 all the way up to 60, and your sensitivity and boost determines how fast you can go from 0 to 60. And more than likely, if you're playing exponential, for it to be as consistent as possible, you want it to take as long as possible. That's how you get that smooth playstyle. On linear though, it's like you're in a car that's flat, going whatever speed limit you set it to. 10 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour. It's set on that, so you can't change it. And just to understand it, if you're in a car and you're trying to drive in a straight line, that meaning linear, it's very easy to do. It's very easy to learn how to drive a car in a straight line. But when it comes to learning how to drive a car in a squiggly road, it takes a lot more to get down. But does it mean you're a better driver of it? And now obviously I'm talking about linear when I'm talking about a squiggly line. Linear is more of a ramp though, and I'll explain it in a minute. But let's talk about the benefits of, or that was exponential, my bad. Look, let me talk about the benefits of linear. Shotgun aim goes straight through the roof. You can flick so consistently, and it just makes it a world of difference. You can also edit so much faster, and because of it being more consistent, you're going to scuff less, aka meaning you're more consistent, meaning you're editing faster, a lot faster than what you would be if you're playing on exponential, because it takes that time to build up the speed like we referenced earlier with the car. But the main benefit and why editing on linear is better than editing on exponential is because when you come out of an edit, so that meaning you're using your edit sensitivity that you set when you're on controller to being on your normal hipfire sensitivity, you're being back to that. Let's say you're playing on 50 sensitivity, you're going back to like that, being on 50 sensitivity. But when you're editing on exponential, you do like a big Dorito edit up in the top right, and that requires you to move your stick super fast, meaning you build up a lot of speed. Then you swap back to your hipfire, you're back to 0, and you have to build up that speed again. So going to and from editing and build mode and hipfire mode is a lot more of an inconsistency than playing with linear, and that's why a lot of controller players are playing on linear. That's the main benefit, whether they want to acknowledge that or not. That's how you're editing faster, but more specifically, after you pull off the edit, you're more capable of hitting the shot to kill the opponent, which is such a big W, and therefore you're playing better on linear. But linear is not all benefits. When it comes to long range, it really sucks compared to exponential. And like I said, I'm going to be talking about aim assist, but not at all do I think aim assist is overpowered. I think it's perfectly balanced. If anything, linear could be buffed a bit. Now that's going to get a lot of people talking in the comments, and I would like to see you down there, because I do reply to all the comments, or at least as many as I possibly can. So I will see you down there. I want to know your opinion on linear versus exponential. But back on topic, when it comes to linear's downfalls, it has less aim assist at range. So with exponential, I made a TikTok on this and went popping and did like 160k views, but exponential's aim assist ranges from about 70 to 80 meters. So that's where it starts dropping off when you're aimed in, by the way, 70 to 80 meters. So you can do a lot of damage long range with exponential, but when you swap back to linear, it starts cutting off between 50 and 60 meters aim assist. And if you have great aim after 60 meters, man, fair play to you, because that's pure mechanics. The aim assist is basically non-existent after 60 meters. That's the best accuracy I could get when I tested it after the last major aim assist nerf, which was in Chapter 2, Season 3, when the water season was out. That's when they nerfed it last. I remember because that's when I started doing YouTube. But regardless of that, linear is not as good as exponential at range when it comes to aim assist. And because, like we said, it's a consistent stick. So it means it's always going to move that sensitivity. So if you have it set to 20 sensitivity when you're aiming, which is pretty high, but let's say you have it on that, it's going to be 20 all the time. So if you move your stick a little bit, it's 20. It's a flat 20. But exponential though, if you're playing on 20 sensitivity, it has to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 20. So you have that. If you just like twist your keyboard or your stick a bit, you can be like very, very smooth when you're aiming in. And that's where the power comes in for tracking, for anything to do with aiming down sights, except sniping. Actually, with sniping as well, with like snipes where you line up. But I'm talking linear is better for flick sniping. So if you're trying to flick very aggressively to someone very far away, it's much better to use linear. But with exponential, if you're just trying to adjust to get like the top hat of a skin behind the ramp, exponential way better. Now, exponential has a few more downfalls other than the consistency part of it. When it comes to just all in all editing, it's a lot slower and more consistent. I did explain that earlier, but I want to go back to talking about building and editing. It's so hard to be able to build up its sensitivity. Now, I played on both of them probably for the equal amount of time because, oh man, my favorite was Legacy, if you remember that, boys. That was the real shit right there. Anyone that talks about aim assist is strong, go back in time, watch Upshaw pop off. He landed, bro, on Paradise Palms when AK-47 had 11 kills before he even looted the building. He pulled half the lobby out of the sky. It was the most insane clip I've actually ever seen. And he was so chill about it because he was the one that figured out the L2 spam tactics. But we're not here to talk about him. We're here to talk about exponential. It's a lot worse for mechanics. That's what I'm trying to say. Editing, building, it's like if you're someone who's at equal skill level, coming up against a linear player, he's going to win you at close range 9 times out of 10. Unless you have more of a Nick Merckx playstyle. He is someone who uses exponential and he sits back, he relaxes, and he lets his aim do the work. He doesn't really focus on mechanics, and he's still a top tier player. Even though he plays the game little to none, he's still a top tier player because he understands how aim works and why he's using exponential is because he plays COD a lot. So when he goes from COD has the option of exponential, dynamic, and linear. He plays Expo on COD. He can just transfer his sensitivity over to Fortnite using the sensitivity changer, and he has his same aim that he has on COD on Fortnite, so he can play to his strengths that way. I'm not sure if he does that, but that's just a great thing to do. So, exponential, better for long range aim. Linear, better for close range aim and editing and building. Obviously, actually, with building, you can have that kind of smooth playstyle with exponential, but when it comes down to things, do you really care how it looks, or do you rather care about the kills you're getting? How long you're going to be surviving in a build fight when you're playing on linear? Because linear is like, if someone's ramping up behind you, linear, you can do a quick flick behind you and check it out. With exponential though, you've got that slow build up before it gets faster, so you're not able to flick as much, able to be more consistent. And actual exponential has really good sticky hip fire aim assist. It's so overpowered. Actually, that's where it really does come in to play. Close range with that sticky aim assist with a P90, you are chilling on exponential if you want to play like that. Actually getting into someone's box. And what I mean, as far as I can remember, the last time I played controller was a hot minute ago. But I know I said it in the intro, boys. I play controller. But that stickiness is really, really good for tracking with an SMG. So you could play that playstyle if you wanted to, hopping in someone's box and really hitting those shots with that sticky aim assist. That's when you win someone who hit linear. Linear has the advantage with shotguns, Exponential with P90s, and if you put those two going head to head, you could actually have a pretty good fight on your hands. But with that said, I don't think I have anything more to talk about. I'm not here to tell you which one's better. I'm here to tell you the positives and negatives over both of them and let you make a decision based on your playstyle and how you play. So if this helped you do that, comment down below what input curve you're going to choose to play on for the rest of the season, or at least for the next few weeks until you decide to swap again if you're going down that route of just experimenting. And with that said, this is the most important part of the video. If we hit 50 likes, I will pull off my controller from that shelf and I will drop a W in Arena Trios playing on controller with my old binds, and I will give my binds out for the public for anyone to use. It would make my day if you hit 50 likes, but it's going to be a hard video to pull off and try and win an Arena Trios game on controller. Thank you so much for watching. I'm out of here. The outro is playing right now. On the left of your screen right now, you should be able to see a full Holly Hedges breakdown. This is where we landed to get this 26 kill game, and that video will show you exactly how we loot it. And then on the opposite side of your screen, you should be able to see a full POI breakdown playlist, and you can find any POI in there and a full analysis to go with it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Make sure you're subscribed.